Very interesting. Do you think sometimes men would cheat because they don't feel like proper men or respected or important in their relationship, so they go look for somebody who gives them that feeling?
You know what's so interesting that I find that men after children are more likely to cheat. They find after children, and that's when they feel the least appreciated, according to them. So what I mean by that is a lot of men, when they first have a baby, they feel invisible around their wife. Like their wife, and this is how women, good women especially, they're supposed to be hyper-focused on their children. But men start to feel unappreciated. They feel like they're just the ATM that comes home after work and nobody even acknowledges him. The kids don't even acknowledge him a lot of the time because they're so attached to their mum. Mum is absolutely exhausted, just focused on the kid. So the man just feels very neglected compared to he used to have all of her attention. And now he has 10% of her attention. And there's no getting through to a woman in the first few years of the baby. Even if you go take her out for dinner, just the two of you, she's going to be thinking about the baby, talking about the baby, as she should. This is not any shade to her. But they feel more and more neglected. And the only way, but at the same time, this is where the trap comes in. They don't want to lose their family. So they can't get a divorce over this because then they lose their family and the child. But at the same time, they've got this burning need that they don't know how to satisfy. So they live a separate life. And that's where the second wife comes in handy.
Do you think we are polygamous in nature?
One thing I would say is, I think with men, I do think that if they were given two wives, you would never see them cheat. I would say that if
they're given two wives, they will not cheat?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think two wives are two headaches, and that's more than enough. It's also two mother-in-laws. And then once you realize, like, being responsible for two women, how difficult it is, it takes up all your energy. But when you have one wife, and then she starts to neglect you, they start to go here, there, everywhere, and they go all over the place. Whereas I do think if they just had two wives to begin with, they would probably not cheat outside of those wives. I don't think they would, from what I see. I'm not justifying.
But then, do you think then men are polygamous by nature, that they can't be satisfied with one woman?
It's not that they can't be satisfied with one woman. It's just that as a man ages, his sex drive doesn't drop. Women's does. If she maintains it, he can be totally monogamous. Totally. It's just that she doesn't always maintain it. And that's just not how we're designed. So it's not that they're polygamous, it's just that their sex drive is continuous. Whereas for women, their sex drive, particularly when they're super happy with their husband, it actually decreases. A kiss is sufficient for them. They're so happy they could go 10 years without doing the deed because they're like, I'm happy in my marriage. Why do I need to sleep with him? I did that 5 years ago. I don't need to do that anymore. So I think if they got the intimacy forever from that person, they would be fine with it. They only seek novelty when, they have an issue. But generally, as long as they're getting the intimacy, they can easily be monogamous. It's when the intimacy drops where they become polygamous.
The woman.
The man, sorry. The man becomes polygamous. When the intimacy is gone with his wife, then he becomes polygamous.
So, okay, let's play another hypothetical or case study. Let's say both of them are in their prime years.
Yes.
Sex drive is healthy, male, female, married.
Yes.
Can we say the male and female are by nature polygamous or monogamous? Nature.
I would honestly say nature is more monogamous than we think.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is so many women come to me and say, I knew my husband was having an affair because he stopped having sex with me. Now, if a man is polygamous, when he's having an affair, his sex drive with his wife should be identical. Why has it stopped? If you're so polygamous, sleep with your wife in the morning and your mistress at night. Why does it stop with one of them? They're designed more monogamous than they realize. Because if they weren't monogamous, no woman would ever get suspicious. But he goes cold when he's having an affair. Very rarely does he maintain the same level of intimacy. This suggests to me they're actually monogamous. They're just simply more monogamous to the person they have sex with, not particularly their wife, girlfriend. It's whoever gives them the intimacy. I know men monogamous to an escort that they met, monogamous to her because she gives him intimacy, yet cheating on their wife because she doesn't. So they're monogamous, but they're monogamous to intimacy, not monogamous to a label of relationships or marriage. Would you agree or disagree as a man?
I heard an interesting theory. It was like a 6-minute snippet on YouTube by a think tank, and they were different, like professors. talking about polygamous and monogamous creatures and animals and human beings. And he said something, one of them said something interesting that I thought was pretty cool. He said, all human beings are polygamous. It's a decision to be monogamous. And he said something like, in words, that it's like if me and you are hungry, we can eat anything. You bring junk food, burger, healthy, we can eat. But does it mean with our brain and our psyche and our awareness we should eat everything?
Yeah.
Or you're like, no, I try to eat clean.
Yeah.
Therefore, by nature, I can eat anything, but I choose to live a healthier, better life. And he kind of
Could it be
compared
that we're actually by nature monogamous and choose to be polygamous?
That's interesting. That's why I'm asking you
Yeah,
this.
for me, I just genuinely think the fact that people in the beginning stages of relationships are naturally monogamous. There's very few people who are like, when they first meet someone, they're crazy about them, cheat constantly from day one. There's something missing in the intimacy that creates the infidelity later on. Or there's something missing in the connection. There's something missing in the masculinity or femininity that creates the polygamy. I genuinely believe that when you are fulfilled, monogamy is a natural byproduct of a fulfilling relationship. It's not difficult. It's actually not difficult. But when you're unfulfilled or you've settled in your partner or you haven't selected wisely, polygamy is calling at you. It's like pulling you. So I would say that we're actually by design more monogamous. And I say this because as a therapist, I constantly see men come to me saying, I can't touch my wife. I miss my mistress too much. I can't touch this person. I keep missing her. I keep thinking about this girl. Men are saying this. So if you're so polygamous, why would you even be hung up on a girl that you used to date? Why don't you forget her in 5 minutes? Sleep with somebody else if it's so easy. So I think there is more monogamy in them than we think.
But then why, it was interesting where you said in the honeymoon era, let's say in the first year, it's very natural to be monogamous. Then why it seems to be so difficult or so impossible, I don't want to use the word impossible, but difficult that to sustain that natural monogamy by year 3 and year 4 or year 10?
Our motivation to please our partner decreases over time. In the beginning stages, we don't see it as a burden looking after ourselves for our partner's sake and looking after our partner for our partner's sake. There's a natural selflessness that comes. Over time, we forget to do that and we become more, we take the easy route. This is human nature, by the way. It's not a bad thing. But if we maintain the desire to care for our partner and be mindful of their needs and wants, I think it would be easy to maintain that. I think it's the meeting of needs rather than just a desire for somebody else. The person who meets your needs becomes the person you start to desire. When a woman never cooks or cleans for her husband, ever, I'll notice a guy say, oh, this girl in my office, she made me a coffee. I think I'm in love with her. And I'm like, who is she? Because I don't really know her. And they literally start fantasizing about her because she met a need. And similarly, a woman will say, my husband never kisses me, never tells me I'm beautiful. This guy at the gym, he always tells me I'm so sexy. I think I like him. Somebody's meeting a need. If we just make sure our partner is the person doing it, monogamy becomes very easy. Do you find monogamy easy?
I find it as a decision. And I think it can, because my wound, when I read the book about wounds.
Which book was it?
If you want, I'll send you a copy. It's
Please.
French, and I got the English translation, and it's super. It's as good as the 5 love languages, which I think should be in every school. I think the 5 wounds should be in every school.
Ah, okay.
So I'll try to quickly summarize it. So wound 1. So the idea is the 5 wounds that you're exposed to during childhood, and then your ego designs a mask to cover the wound, but doesn't mean it's healed. It's just covered with a plaster, right? So it's a mask. So the first one was injustice. No, not injustice. Rejection.
Rejection, okay.
The mask for rejection, one is from either parent. So the first rejection, one of them is rejection, like you're not coming out with us.
Yes.
You're not allowed. And you took it as a rejection wound. The mask is for withdrawal. Withdrawer. So you're a person that you'll see never raises the hand in school. They're not proactive because they don't want to get any rejection anywhere. So they don't even be forthcoming. That's number 1. Number 2 is abandonment, which is huge with a lot of people. And abandonment is dad was too busy, mom left me too much, I was with the nanny, So the ego creates the dependency mask. And that's very codependent people. So when they're in a relationship, they latch onto you with the intuition or intention that if I latch onto them, they won't leave. And that's the same reason they would leave.
Yes,
because you suffocated them.
you,
So you're there with the right intention, like, no!
Yeah, it
But
actually
then-
creates the fear that they've been trying to avoid.
Third is humiliation.
Okay.
You look disgusting, you're a fat pig, da-da-da-da-da. You feel humiliated as a child, and you become a masochist. You bring pain to yourself, it can go extreme, or you're a pleaser, you don't take care of your body, you gain weight. Everybody before me. 6 people invite you to their birthday, you go to the 6.
Okay.
You're never a priority. 4 is yours truly, is betrayal, and you felt betrayed by a parent. And if you felt betrayed as a child, I don't even remember when, but obviously when I saw the symptoms, I'm like, me, you become a controller.
Okay.
So you want to do anything not to be betrayed.
Right.
And I noticed at work, I'm like, contracts, make sure it's clear. I don't like ambiguous people. I don't like mysterious people, even in love.
Yeah.
If you're mysterious, it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because it's not clear. And I'm like, what are they up to?
You need transparency.
I love transparency and love
Yeah.
communication. The last one is rejection.
That was the first one, no?
Yeah, I thought it was. It was, sorry, injustice.
Injustice, sorry.
Injustice is maybe your siblings were treated better
Yeah.
than you and all of that, and you become rigid.
Okay.
So I only work this way. I only do things this way.
Yeah.
My house is this way. No flexibility. So
I think I have that. I'm very rigid in the way that I think.
I have that as my second one.
I have that.
My second one is
I'm very rigid. People always
first
say you're
aban-
black and white, you're black and white. And I'm like, yeah.
Do you have abandonment?
I feel so because I was very left out. So it must
And
have
were
been.
you very codependent in your first relationships?
It's more controlling than codependent. I can live my separate life, but I want to know what you're doing the whole way, all the time. So I'm very
It's a betrayal.
Yeah, betrayal, yeah. So I must have, but I definitely have that rigidness to me. It's very much
It's
like that.
never one.
Yeah.
I have betrayal and injustice to me.
And then I guess the rejection must have been there. If I'm left out, I guess there must have been someone.
It
Maybe
depends.
all
Sometimes,
of them.
no, but sometimes the rejection can manifest as abandonment. And some people, so we just have to read it and you'll be like, shit, that's me.
Okay, interesting.
And it's a good book to read.
Great book. Who's it by? Do you know?
No, I
Okay,
forgot.
I'll look into it.
I'll give you a copy.
Yeah, perfect.
Hi, I'm Sadia Khan, and you might know me as a leading dating coach in modern relationships today. I work with men every single day to help give them the blueprint of understanding relationships, women, attraction, and self-esteem. So if you are feeling stuck in your relationships and you want to unlock your full potential, work with me today by clicking on the link, and I look forward to hearing from you.